What's up, Orna fans? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Chris, with some more tips and tricks from Orna Guide for 2025 new Tier 10 players. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Summoner class line. If you don't know about this class, you really need to reevaluate. It's easy to unlock, it is very, very powerful, and the summons allow you to kind of adjust your play based on you. It is very easy to get through endless dungeons, through raids, through many tower bosses, and get deep into endless too, with very little gear requirements. As we jump in here, guys, you can see as we move up from our previous class, we're going to get a ton of health, we're going to get a lot of mana, we're going to lose some magic and a few other things. You're also going to gain some spell slots. If you have played Summoner, you know that this can be a problem because there's only so many summons that we can hold, and we still have to buff, we need to do damage, so we have to play with this a little. Looking at the tier 10, as you can see, we're going to get Summon Troll, great for arcane damage. We've got Summon Chimera, this is going to help you keep Blight up. If you've watched my tower videos, you know that this is really easy to keep the buff up. The Great Golem is good for some defense, not the best. Blood Pact. This is another very interesting spell that can do a lot of damage in a very short amount of time, but it's very gear dependent. Rana Pact, this is going to be your bread and butter, guys. If you're running summons, we need to spread the debuffs and the buffs around so we can temp buff ourselves and get everything going very quickly. Summon Pegasus is a great replacement for Bugane later on, especially if the target is weak to dark attacks. It's going to do a lot of physical damage, but really dark is where it's excelling. Achilles Pact. If you're running a Blood Pact and you have the Celestial class, easy way to wipe out a whole bunch of summons in a hurry to get the buff up. Summon Great Hydra, as you'll notice at the bottom there. This is a direct improvement to the Summon Hydra spell. Great health, decent damage, very, very sought after, especially with a 4-turn requirement. Can be a little hard, which is why when we get into the specializations, you're going to see why we're running what we are. There's also some accessories that are going to make this easier because these summon times get longer. You'll notice at the bottom here, we've got Summon Anubis. I do want to take a moment to talk about this one. It is an interesting one as far as damage goes. Sigils are great. On its own, it's not super strong, but it does have a lot of health. It also gives you the ability to drop more damage, so situationally, it's a very good summon. As you can see here, we're going to start off with 2 quick cast summons. Easy enough. Big buffs on it. We also get some increased damage from Dark and Holy, which is always nice. We're going to have Elysian Guidelight, which is going to let us take the pets between floors, so we're not going to have to resummon every time. Your pet's going to gain from your ascension levels, so they're just going to get stronger as we go along. You're also going to have some pet protection, which is a good thing to take damage for you because of this. Looking at our specialization here, this is Benefactor. It's going to give you instant summons and access to Summon Ancient Djinn, which is awesome. If you looked at the decreases there, you have now become a glass cannon. All you can really do is protect yourself, stay alive, let the pets do the damage. So you're going to have to play with this a little bit. It is very interesting in that the class itself does not benefit the pet from your attack and your magic. We are going to benefit by staying alive. Some other options you may look into. Charmer is very good for this, especially if you're doing endless. If you watch any of my videos, you'll notice that there's times I'll start as Benefactor, come out, change to the Charmer because I want to get those +2 and +1 buffs up on all my pets. It also gives me access to Appease too, which makes me less of a target, makes the pets more. Always a nice touch, right? You're also going to get access to the Sonata of Defense, which is going to protect you. If you're doing some extra damage, which is not really our goal, but helpful, we got the Warrior's Purveying and the Mages. If you're going for a Blood Pact build, you're going to want to look at something more like the Sequencer. We're going to need double staffs on this. It also works out well with an Ultima build if you're going into that, but that is going to be more late game because it's very, very gear dependent. We're only looking at Sequencer because we can do a double cast. If we're going to do heavy damage, may as well make it count when we use it, right? Taking another look here, guys. Chronomancer. If you're early on, I really, really recommend this. You can get things in a Lacuna time loop and keep it going. It's also really easy to throw on knock belts, and now we can keep that up even easier. All I got to do is ward, keep them stunned, move on. Let the pets do the damage in between. I mean, it's very straightforward, almost too repetitive, but worth it. Looking here, you can see my stats. I'm high on defense, I'm high on resistance, I'm running ward. Health. This is where you're going to have a problem. It is very, very hard to have enough health on this. So later in the video, I'm going to show you what happens when your pets don't protect you. It's pretty common. So you're going to have to kind of adjust your play based on what you're seeing. And different summons are going to have different protect rates for you. Looking at the gear, it's going to be straightforward, guys. Just go for ward. The God Forge questing staff is good. Of course, the Fallen Shield, always a plus. On the accessory slots, you're going to notice the Omega Rift Rock. This thing gives you a 25% chance to complete your summon spell instantly. With Benefactor decreasing it, this gives you the best chance to get the summons out fast. Rift Rocks, if you have 2, they stack. So it's very important if you need to get those high cost summons out, that's your chance. Things like the Dragon Event staff that summons Bethier, the skeletal one, that will also work on that. The Grimoires are also really easy to get them out. Other options, you're going to need the God Forged Goat Staff. You're going to want this one for the summon stats. This is really the biggest thing. If you come in, summon your pets with this on, they're going to keep that buff. Now I can leave, come back, put on different gear that's higher ward, so you can play with it some. Another really good one is the Arisen Ophion banner. This one's nice because I can spread buffs. A word of advice, though, when you use it, make sure you turn it off because the buff will stay on and you will pass things around like a peas that you really don't want to. But it is an easy way while you're buffing to hopefully get some of that out to the pets, whether it be Worm Song, whether it be Bear's Might, that kind of thing. As far as the amenities go, you're going to want something with Benefact on it. This is your plus summon stats. The one I'm currently running is plus 30, so pets are always going to benefit from that. Especially knowing that they don't gain from my attack and my magic. So they need to have their own stats to really do some damage at this point. Spell setup, this is my general, hey, I'm running a tower, hey, I'm running a dungeon. The Ancient Gen is an easy way to do quick damage, a little bit squishy, not great for raids, but excellent for clearing hordes. Summon Bugane is going to be your bread and butter for the most part, guys. High action rate, high damage, and it's flurry damage. So if you don't have this one, Halloween of it is going to be your friend. The rest of it's pretty straightforward. Radas, we're going to use that to spread our debuffs and our buffs. We're going to use Channel. When that is up, plus 3, guess what? I can Rada Pact it to pets, do more damage. Of course, the Golem's Fortitude for defense. We're going to run Mimic's Mischief to give us some more buffs. And then we're going to run Transference, which will help keep our ward going and let me drop a little bit of extra damage between it when my ward is all topped up. It's kind of a hard one, guys, because you want to keep these buffs up, but at the same time, it gets really repetitive just buffing myself and spreading out to pets and relying on them to do the entire fight for me. Very worth it. And there are many, many ways, as I said, to play a summoner. So you can adjust your damage depending on what you're seeing, what they're resistant to. Keep this in mind as you're playing the class, especially when you're starting to look at guild raids, when you're looking at world raids. Watch those resistances. You have ways to adjust this and make your damage even more ideal. Now, being that I'm level 235, I have access to Realm Shift. Realm Shift is a wonderful buff to start spreading. Problem is it can also do some negative, so you have to be very careful with when you spread and when to watch with Rada. Sharpen, Ponder are also great. Temporary crit, any of that. Here we have what I would consider more of a raid build. Very Scary Skeleton is an excellent touch for temporary defense and resistance down. If you don't have access to the Summon Failed Phoenix, you'll know that when you summon this, you get 2 versions. There's a mage and a warrior. They're going to do high damage, but you need a combination of them to do it. One is going to put up a debuff that lets you use the Phoenix Rising damage. Again, it's super high. You can crit, 2-4 million, but you need to make sure that they are buffed and ready to go. Again, we're going to run Channel. We're going to run the Rada's Pact. This might be one I would throw on a Lugo's Gauntlet for, just for the temporary 3-up. Merlin's Concoction, you name it. I want to get those spread out to my team, so we're doing the highest damage possible. Another good one to look at is right here. We want the Summon Onryo. This is going to give you your permanent defense and resist down ×2. It also has Windswept, which is going to keep them from critting you. So you can kind of alternate these through, and you may bring them up early on just to do the damage, get the buffs up, and then drop them. This right here would be more of my tower build. Obviously, the Chimera is going to help me keep the debuffs up. I've got Onryo and Skeleton for the debuffs, and then I also have Bugane. His job is just to do the damage in between. If you watch my video on this, you know that this is just supplemental damage, guys. Really, your big ones are going to come from that Stun Dart, Miasma, and keeping a shield up. And then I have some other things, just to help with resists or whatever. You'll also notice I'm running Ward of Mithril on this one. That was completely by accident, and I hope you realize that Ward of Ortonite is much better for this situation. Diving in, guys, this is just a quick run through a regular dungeon. I just kind of want to show you how the Jhin might work. As you can see, I'm popping up Buganes because they're almost one turn with the Omega Rift Rock plus the Benefactor. So just extra damage. They're going to protect me, give me a wall if something lives. For the most part, all I'm doing is casting Ward and sitting back and watching this. So it gets a little repetitive, but well worth it for the farming. As you can see here, we're going to go into a raid. So I'm just showing you again, this is the raid spec I'm probably going to run. Morgane is a perfect one. She does a lot of damage, and she can turn this on you really quick. So as you can see, the Skeleton's keeping up the temporary buffs pretty well. She's going to keep despelling them, which keeps her busy. I'm going to keep warding. I'm going to get the channels up. I'm going to keep spreading them to the pets, and I am just going to sit back and watch the numbers roll. Here's where it gets kind of fun, is when she does target me. As I promised you, I was going to show you what it looks like to be a glass cannon. So as we're going through this video, I just want you to pay attention to the amount of damage I'm taking and what ultimately can happen. It's not to deter you from the class. It's actually to encourage you to play this class because it's very easy to farm and it's very good early tier 10. It has its moments. So here comes the big moment. Bam. Oh, what happened? Oh no, it's over. But we're going to dive right back in and we're going to finish that up because let's face it, guys, we can't end on that note, right? So again, we're just going to get the summons up. We're going to readjust. Every now and then you're going to see me take a shot, and all of a sudden I'm just going to pop back up when I heal. I'll keep doing my ward again. You're going to have to play with this, guys. This class can be very, very difficult, but it is super rewarding. You can get so deep into things. You can get so many things done. And it's just a very easy way to farm, especially early on. Knowing that you don't need to redline, knowing that it really doesn't matter how much mana I have, is just a bonus for me. It's kind of that nice, easy playthrough. As I said, guys, this is a very versatile class. There's a lot of ways to play it, a lot of ways to do damage. I hope these tips and tricks help you guys. Look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.